Hi everyone, and welcome to week 7 of HU260 Strategies and Decision Making. I'm very proud of you all. Keep up the good work. This week we'll be working on 3 things: the discussion, the assignment, and the proctored exam. But I don't want you to fret about the exam. You'll have until the last day of class, and it's open note. For this week's discussion, we are talking about ethical dilemmas. These are the types of decisions that require you to use some sort of ethical reasoning. Read your weekly material to discover the difference between utilitarianism, egoism, relativism, deontology, and justice. I've included a cheat sheet below. Once you've figured them out, tell the class about a time you made a complex decision where you used one of these types of reasoning. Don't forget to tell us whether or not you made the right decision and why you feel you did or did not. Remember, an ethical dilemma usually requires you to make a choice between 2 not-so-good choices. Think Heinz Dilemma. The weekly extra video is about Heinz's dilemma. Check it out. On to your assignment. Begin this week's assignment by reading the weekly materials about moral reasoning. This type of reasoning is characterized as pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. I've included a cheat sheet below. Once you feel you have a good understanding of these 3 types of moral reasoning, you're ready for the assignment. You are going to be reading a news story, but please only read what's presented and don't investigate the story beyond what's presented in the class. That's not our task. Our task is to read the information presented, then determine what type of moral reasonings were being used, but only based on what we have read and what is presented. You'll answer the questions: what type of moral reasoning was the football player using? How about the police officer? Was the police officer right to hold them to do his job as the police officer despite the mitigating circumstances? What would you have done as both the football player or the police officer? And what type of reasoning would you be using? Also discuss the moral and ethical ramifications, the effects or consequences of the decisions that were made by both parties. Above all, remember this is critical thinking. This is a critical thinking exercise. Don't make assumptions or use your emotions to draw conclusions or make judgments about the people in the story. We're exploring the concept that many different people can be using many different viewpoints and reasoning platforms in many different situations. Now the exam information. The exam becomes available in week 7, but you have until the last day of class to take it, regardless of what the due date says. Of course, I don't recommend waiting until the last day, especially since this is a proctored exam using your webcam. You don't want to run into technical difficulties. The first thing you'll need to do is download the software. This means clicking on the software secure link before you click on the proctored exam link. I've included a link to the directions below. Just a heads up, your weekly discussions are worth 5% each. Your assignments 1 through 7 are worth 6.3% each, and next week's assignment, week 8, is worth 12% of your grade. This exam is worth 3%. I hope that puts things in perspective. I'm very excited to have come this far with you guys, and I'm looking forward to a strong finish. As always, don't hesitate to ask questions, and stay safe.